quite an experience to make it, I can tell you.
Service opens at 5.
The film is based on a play by Arnold Wesker from 1957, I think. And I came across it when I was studying drama in London, actually. And I was working part-time in a kitchen in Piccadilly Circus to help pay for my tuition. And you know, it was a horrible place where I was working, a very industrialized kind of fast-paced kitchen, very hard work, and that's where I came across the play in school, and it kind of helped me make sense of, you know, what I was seeing every day, and it helped the work days bearable and interesting. So yeah, and I think one of the things that caught me about Wesker's play was this notion that we prioritize productivity over absolutely everything, and how the way we've built our lives leaves very little room for intimacy, for talking about dreams, you know, the important things in life, really. And I think Wesker saw that in the 1950s, and I think it's still very relevant today, how we have cancelled all the other parts of the human experience in favor of productivity and the cost of that.
Estás muy guapa, güey.
All right, people. Service is open.
Say you'll wait for me.
I'll wait for you.
In modern society, we've decided not to look at or pretend that these people who work behind these closed doors don't exist. And there's a thing about their invisibility that I wanted to address, and you know, it made me want to focus, and that also made the film relevant to me. And so how we came about it was I mean, first of all, the casting process was very involved and long. We had 3 casting directors, one in Mexico for all the Mexican parts, one in the US for the Americans, and one in Europe where we brought a couple of people from. And so to create this melting pot that the film needs. And we brought them all to Mexico to rehearse for a month before shooting, which for a film, a month is quite a generous rehearsal time. Not as much as I would have liked still, but I, you know, it was still a very generous rehearsal process. And in that time, the actors would go to cooking lessons in the mornings, and then in the afternoons, we would improvise. We did a lot of improvs, a lot of theater games, and, you know, getting to know each other. And so there was a lot of intimacy and a lot of bonding between the actors. So I think they all came to really know their characters, and the idea was to blur the lines, to bring a lot of themselves into the characters. So we blurred the line between actor and character as much as possible.
Well, sometime soon. We help Pedro with the papers, get him legal.
Ahí podemos empezar de cero. Get out of this place. Come on. God gave us the chance to share a dream.
Tú quieres más. Algo más.
I always shot list and I storyboard everything, and then I throw my shot list out the window and I try to focus on seeing the scene afresh there with the actors. But if I don't have a previous plan in my head, I can't function. I remember this quote from Kubrick used to say that for him the movie gets made, and he used to say that for him he makes his paycheck when everybody's out, the whole crew is out smoking a cigarette and having a coffee and thinking, why are we wasting all this time? We should be shooting. That's when he's inside the set just with the actors and the DP, and we're making it happen. That's when the director makes his paycheck, you know. I think, and for me, I try to follow that, because that's, you know, just being there on the set with everybody outside with the actors, and you and they perform it for you, and you go, okay, let's do it for real. Before we shoot, and then we decide what the best angle to shoot it is. But first, we have to make sure that what is meant to be happening is really happening. And then coming up with an interesting camera angle, I think, is secondary. It's easier.
Service!
I think I'm missing 800 from one of the registers.
Anybody knows anything at all about this money, you make sure it gets told.
That pool boy ready?
Where'd you get the money?
Don't worry about it.
Back to work! Now!
I love black and white. But I deeply love it. Like it's my favorite medium. And I did want the movie to feel timeless, to have like for us not to be able to pinpoint exactly what year it's taking place, and also to frame it as a sort of a fable, you know. I wanted it to go beyond realism. I like that quote from A Streetcar Named Desire, where Blanche says, "I want more than realism. I want magic." And I think that's kind of what I wanted for this film, a little bit of magic. And I think framing it in black and white allows us to take two steps back from realism and to be more expressionistic, and to, you know, to use shadows in a bolder way. And yeah, it just made it more psychological, I guess, and or even symbolistic for me. Anyway, so yeah, that those were the reasons. And also, you know, this film, other films are informed by films, but this one was more informed by still photography. That is still, it's something that me and my DP Juan Pablo Ramirez looked at a lot. We shared a common interest in still photography, and particularly we were looking at a Japanese photographer called Masahisa Fukase, who has these like black and white, very sort of violent, expressionistic images that felt right for this material. And also like the work of Louis Stettner, who and Saul Later, who shot New York in the 50s, and it looks, it just looked different. There was something about that we wanted for the film.
I can't, baby. I'm working.
Wait, I just want you to hear me.
Hey! Where is the goddamn food?
It's a very immersive experience. A lot of work was put into the sound, involving sound of the film, and also I think the images, like you know, it's a very, it may sound stupid to say this, but it's a very cinematographic film. It's not, it's very reliant on image, and it's very much about symbolic imagery. So I think, yeah, we shot it for the big screen. And that's how I hope people experience it on a big screen.
Thank you for watching Picture House Cinema's unique video content. Hit the subscribe button to be kept up to date with our movie news, cast and crew interviews, highlights, trailers, and lots more.